Welcome to another ThemeMountain video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show how to use the button shortcode, which is used throughout our themes and sliders, parallax sections, full screen sections, and more. So I have my section block set up here already. I'm going to go ahead and insert my button. When I do, we're presented with a bunch of different options here. The first is the bottom margin for desktop and tablet, and the second one is for the bottom margin for mobiles, which kicks in at 768 pixels. Now, it's useful to be able to variate these because you might have a layout that looks great on desktop and tablet with a lot of margins, but it does not look that great on mobile. So what you can do here is clear the margin or reduce it. I suggest you play around with it, and again, it depends on your design and structure. Then we have the scroll to section that defaults to do not scroll. I'm going to leave it as such for now. Then we have the icon selector here. I'm going to go ahead and add an icon. There we go. I've added my icon there. I'm going to go ahead and add a button label. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the URL. Then we have the link target, which allows us to choose whether we should open it in the same tab or new tab. I'm going to set it to a new tab here. And then we have the display options. This allows us to display the button inline. This is useful if we want to insert multiple buttons on the same line. For now, I'm just going to leave this unchecked. Then we have the design options, icon alignment, button size, style, and colors. I suggest you play around with these and get familiar with them. And try the various styling options out. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we can see what this looks like. There we have our button. So now that I click it, it will open the URL in a new tab. Now I'm going to show you how to scroll down to this section using the button. So I go back to my button here. This time I switch the scroll to section to scroll to. I'm going to just change the icon to an arrow down icon. It's more representative. And in the URL field this time I will enter the ID of the section, so we can see the ID of the section here, which is test. Remember to always add the hashtag before the name. And then we have the scroll offset option, which allows us to stop the scroll either a little bit before the section or a little bit past the section. Again, this depends on your design, but I'm going to show you what this does. First, I'm just going to show you scrolling to the section without modifying it though. Right, so we have our button here. Now that I click it, it scrolls down to the section. Say instead I wanted to stop the scroll a little bit before, say 100 pixels. This is where the scroll offset becomes useful. So I'm going to go ahead and add -100 here, where -100 would be further up the page or prior to the section, and positive numbers would be past the section. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, and we can see again what this looks like. So now that I click it, as we can see, it stops 100 pixels before the section. Again, it really depends on the design that you're going for. I suggest you play around with it and try it out. And that's all for this tutorial.